Yesterday, I did something that no African leader has done in decades. I picked up the phone and told the most powerful man in the world exactly what I thought about his plan to destroy my people's future. That man was Donald Trump. And what I told him? It's about to change everything you think you know about how small nations deal with superpowers. But before I tell you what happened on that call, because trust me, it was explosive, you need to understand what was really at stake. This wasn't just about trade. This wasn't just about economics. This was about whether 22 million people would eat tomorrow, or whether they'd become refugees fleeing a continent that the world has already written off. My name is Ibrahim Traoré. I'm 35 years old. I run Burkina Faso, and yesterday I declared war on the system that's been bleeding Africa dry for centuries. Stay with me, because what I'm about to tell you will explain why every intelligence agency in Washington is now watching my every move. 3 days ago, my economic advisors rushed into my office with news that made my blood run cold. The United States was about to impose a 30% tariff on everything we export to America. Not 5%, not 10%, 30%. To put that in perspective, that's not a trade adjustment. That's even have the courtesy to warn us first. We found out the same way everyone else did, through rumors, through leaked documents, through the whispers of diplomats who couldn't look us in the eye, as if 22 million people weren't worth a phone call before you destroy their economy. That's when I knew this wasn't about trade policy. This was about sending a message that Africa should know its place, that we should be grateful for whatever scraps fall from their table, that we should never, ever forget who's really in charge. They were wrong. Let me tell you something about the phone call that's got Washington talking, because what happened in those 23 minutes wasn't diplomacy. It was a reckoning. When Trump's voice came through that secure line, I could hear it immediately. The tone you use when you're talking to someone you don't consider an equal, the casual dismissal, the assumption that I'd called to beg. He started talking about America's economic interests, about protecting American jobs, about how these tariffs were necessary for America's future. I let him finish. Then I said something that I guarantee no American president has heard from an African leader in decades. I said, "Mr. President, let me tell you about my economic interests." The line went quiet.